It was about 9:30 on a Sunday morning when we assembled at Larkwood and sorted out the luggage ready to board the coach.
I'm going to... Well, do you want to sit in the front, Arthur? I don't mind sitting in.
It was about 11 o'clock when we were dropped at Ripon and set off to walk down to the River Ewer. The sun was blazing down from a clear blue sky, and it was already oppressively hot. We walked for a while through fields and alongside the tranquil river. This antique would have done some business had it been working. When we eventually reached the pub at North Stanley, the glasses were empty before I could get my camera out. After leaving the pub, we regained the riverbank at Slenningford. Then, after 8.5 sweaty miles, we reached the end of the stage at West Tansfield. It was all changed next morning. The heat wave had ended, and when we looked out of our bedroom window it was pouring down. It continued to rain throughout breakfast, but by the time we got out of the cars at West Tansfield, the rain had stopped and the weather was starting to clear. We sorted our gear and then went across the road to sit outside the pub while we waited for the rest of the party who were coming by bus.
See you later.
Yep. We waved goodbye to our support drivers and then set off along the riverside path to Mickley.
Should we give a wave?
That would have been a good.
front of us, you know. What it must be like.
You know what you were saying about the wall, weren't you?
We don't see them now, eh?
On arrival at the Mickley checkpoint, Jean and Joan were there to greet us. Until now we'd been following the circular Ripon Rowell walk. Now it was time to break off into a different direction. A short road walk through the village, and then we turned off into woodland.
They're laughing at us.
All of you. Down here, we eventually go down. It's long and then
A short break, and then as we continued on, the path started to get muddy after the overnight rain. We had another short stop at a pleasant spot right on the riverside. Then a bit further on we had to stop again, just to don our macs when it started to drizzle.
I said that.
As we broke out of the wood to enter Meadowland, there was a bit of technical discussion on the best way to negotiate awkward stalls.
Because what I was trying to do was put my leg over the high bit that was up there.
Yeah, you see, you put your leg over the low bit.
Over the low bit.
Where's the low bit?
Don't know where you go on to that one and then that one, and it's easy peasy. But
I got that
Margaret
far.
ignores me as well.
Margaret what?
Ignores me as well.
Oh well. Are you putting that in your bag, Stan?
What is it now, half a mile?
Yeah. Oh, well, hang on, you do that.
The rain had stopped, and we packed our macs away. Thereafter it was a pleasant walk following the river through open countryside. Then before long our destination Mazam came into sight across the open fields. Today's walk had been 7 miles, and as we entered Mazam, Joan and Jean were there to meet us. Got one of the saviour.
You take some of it. Yeah.
Tonight we walked across the square to dine in the Bolton Arms. It was a most enjoyable meal.
I will. Yeah. I'll do it. Tell you what, she promised to do that then. Work out which one belongs to who. Yeah, guess who? Could. Competition.
They're not included.
We're all the ones who's eating food.
They're never.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. And what you do? Spots on, then you go round. Slowly go round the table.
There you're on now. It's proof that you've been here.
Ooh, look, he could be on the film. Yeah.
You'll be on the elite.
Oh no, I can't get round.
Right,
Hey, look this way.
The walking on day 3, which started off back at Mazam, was different. Almost all the route was over farmland. A short road walk out of town took us into the fields. News of our expedition was spreading, and spectators turned up all along the route to see us through.
Something like that, yeah.
After leaving the animals behind, there followed a long series of stiles.
Where are we heading towards, John?
Yeah, there's a gate there, yeah.
Yeah, it won't be long before we're at Ellington.
You think it's a falcon? I saw it had a longish beak. I thought myself it was something like that.
Doesn't matter about the rest. The checkpoint at High Ellington.
I think you would have come across them before, Margaret. Yeah, you were great with them.
The bus didn't let us rest for long.
Are you ready, people?
On a short woodland stretch we found the path flooded, and we had to clamber along the side of the valley to avoid it.
Yeah.
We had a short stop on emerging from the wood. From there it was a fairly short walk downhill to Jervo Farm and the Brimore ice cream shop.
Oh, Stan! Hey, smile!
This guinea fowl must have found the eggs a bit lumpy. After indulging ourselves, it was just a short walk through Jervo Park to rendezvous with Jean and Joan for our lift back into Leyburn. Today's walk was 6.5 miles. This unusual bridge, built in 1829, was one of the earliest examples of a suspension bridge in England.
You get in the front, Arthur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As soon as you're ready, Jean. Yeah.
It was drizzly next morning when we restarted the walk from Jervo. It was another field walk day, and we started off by following the Ewer upstream to its confluence with the Cover. At the confluence, the banks of the Cover were riddled with the nest holes of sand martins. We crossed the Cover by the road bridge. Then, after a short stop at the old coaching inn, we used the old 17th century bridge to reach the far side of the Ewer.
Well, it'll have to move, or we'll have to...
The path here was heavily overgrown and absolutely soaking wet with the rain.
Stood a few more down for you. Yo, Mike.
All right. That's easier.
Thanks for cheering us up.
That's easier.
You're so kind to cheer us up.
I should get another gold star.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Stan, smile, because we're going to get you tonight. Smile, Stan.
Could be your last happy.
There followed a gentle but steady climb up through Spennythorn and Harmby towards Leyburn. At this point we were about 200 foot above the valley floor, with a view across the River Ewer to Middleham.
All right. All right.
All right, all right.
Yeah,
It was our last night in Leyburn. We went out for another meal at the Bolton Arms, and then finished the night off in the bar of the Golden Lion.
Mushroom bells.
You're all right.
This morning we walked directly from the hotel. We walked across the marketplace and out onto Leyburn Shawl. Leyburn Shawl is a natural escarpment running along the north side of Wensleydale, about 400 foot above the level of the River Ewer. According to legend, Mary Queen of Scots dropped her shawl there when she escaped from Bolton Castle. The dropped shawl revealed her whereabouts and she was recaptured. Another explanation is that the name is derived from Sheelan, a shepherd's hut.
Get you near the edge.
He is, isn't he? Terrible.
The leader has spoken.
You've got to be, you see, if you want to do something. Where were we? Well, take one of these. Are you ready for it? Stay on top of the tree. No, I'm not telling you.
Put your name down, Stan. We're not filming in red car. You want to go film it?
Behind you. A little bit.
Stay on.
You know. It's
Somebody
okay.
could have got a stick in me.
Stand you can just move in.
I've lost your arm now.
Is that okay?
On reaching the end of the escarpment, we descended through fields towards Preston-under-Scar.
.5 minutes. And it's a lovely spot through there. Yeah.
Yeah, we stopped
We'll have a proper stop. It's about 5 minutes, isn't it?
We stopped for 11s by the stream in Gilfield Wood. Jean and Joan were waiting for us when we reached the village.
And the whole maintains itself, isn't it? Yeah.
We walked on through the village and soon got our first view of Bolton Castle, still 2 miles away. Bolton Castle was built by Lord Richard Scrope in 1379 to guard Wensleydale. Scrope had been knighted for his part in the Battle of Neville's Cross near Durham in 1346. Mary Queen of Scots was imprisoned there from July 1568 until January 1569. She is reputed to have escaped from there, and she was recaptured a short distance away near Leyburn.
Yeah.
Is it not 10?
Then goes your lunch.
Oh, I didn't like them. I was keeping them for... It's just this lucky hen's getting them all. Doesn't like the coconut though.
On leaving the castle we had a 2-mile and mainly downhill stroll to Carperby and the Wheatsheaf Inn.
There's room. I don't know. Yes, I think I'm just worried about getting back up again.
Yeah, I know.
Did you breathe in there?
It's a matter of breathing in and thinking thin, isn't it, really?
Yeah, they haven't grown at all. I wonder if they're like a miniature one. You know I didn't mean it, that's why it moved.
Are you giving it coconut?
Coconut. You don't like coconut.
Until you fall in, yeah.
It is up to the wrong one.
You're pushing it a bit. Oh, I was shooting that.
Wherever. Out. Out. 1 out, 2 out. 3 out.
We hit the road on the edge of the village. Then it was just a short walk along to the Wheatsheaf.
Is there one on the table?
Where's the keys?
Dinner tonight was delayed while England played Trinidad and Tobago in their World Cup qualifying group.
Well, that was already done, you see, so...
I was told by my daughter.
So did you do the same goal just after the first one? So this and then we had just been a bit too early instead of
Now,
a bit
obviously,
later on. So
Stan.
oh yeah.
That's right. That's right, yeah.
Now, look nonchalant.
Good,
Like,
We're going to pass it down.
may I borrow you?
Oh yes, Anne. We're supposed to bring that spider with you.
You have to get this.
Well, I've got a white one, so at least it looks like it. You haven't got any red, though. Do you think that will make it look?
Yeah.
Put it down quick.
It's getting orange.
I'm full.
Hey, folks.
That's good.
There's one piece of Christian
Don't go over anymore, man.
Haven't you?
Our final day kicked off with a hearty breakfast.
No more turn-offs.
Then we were transported to the start of the walk at Ascray.
It shows you've been busy here. Can I? Doesn't it? It shows you've been busy.
Oh, yeah, you know, thank you.
Often get like transport to Ascot.
The first section of the walk took us to the old Spenrig water mill.
Good, yeah, looks narrow. I was going to say, getting narrower.
Then we did a bit of climbing before we got to a welcome coffee stop at Skelgill.
Where the hell have they found the blackboard and the chalk?
They've phoned ahead, haven't they? How long have we had that camera now?
I don't know yet.
Joans, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't that?
She's having tuition. She's on a course this week.
I'm on a camera.
No.
I'll be falling right behind now.
Camera and mobile phone course you joined this week, didn't you? Yeah, we just...
Said Basque.
Yes, sad bag.
Basque.
You know the one I mean.
Sad bag.
It's bad as that other one.
We continued on through Shawcourt. Then we had another little stop where the path forked at Nickel
We're
Gill.
about here. We're going to, yeah. Not very far now.
Isn't it?
Then we made our way through some beautiful, unspoiled, traditional buttercup meadows to Litherskew. After Litherskew there was another succession of meadows until we reached Sedbusk. At Sedbusk we turned off down the hillside in a direct line towards Hawes.
Do you want a cuddle?
Or maybe they have been. Maybe it was just...
We got to our roadside meeting point ahead of schedule, and we had to wait for the cars. Then, with everyone together, we started off on the final stretch down to the riverbank.
For everybody. Yeah.
We go together, you don't care.
We still had a couple of hours to wait for our transport home, so where better to wait than the pub?
Last year, no, the year before, and I lent the Explorers the tent because I didn't have enough room in the building. So they put it up, but the trouble is it rained the day before we left and during the night. So I packed it all away. I can't see me going back to camping now.
No.
It's different when we had the car and you could shove everything in.
Yeah, it's getting around.
Yeah, we used to go camping in Scotland all over. Well, I don't think I'm likely to do that again.
I know we got four gold one.
Hey, Anne, I like that. I like the couple of jars there.
Yeah, I thought you would.
You've got your red one.
For having us organised.
Come on, you have to open it then.
Give me that mouth.
Well, he got a red one as well.
Oh, come on, I didn't get a red one.
He was racing those.
He wasn't
I know, let's see her open this. So stand back. Yeah, I've got four.
Get out of the road.
What do you like them?
Look.
Sorry, my son. I like them. Can you show around the paper?
Nice, aren't
Oh, they're lovely. Yeah, they're lovely.
I've got two yellows. What did you get the others for?
Oh, they're lovely.
Oh, yes.
Of you, Pauline.
You're the only one that's got one.
Well, she'd had a drink. I didn't know what it was for. But I think it was really set up.
Where's yours, Margaret? Come on, close yours. Do you like them then?
Yeah.
Frame them.
Frame it. Stick it in that camera showed you.
I've got a black star. Showing it with black.